Hi, and welcome back to Pathwise Live. Today we're talking about how to regulate your emotions so they don't regulate you. I'll be your host today. My name is Tim Bradley. I'm a licensed psychotherapist and author of the training guide, Creating a Life I Love. Also a video series. You can check it out online on my website. Let's talk about emotions. Emotions have no meaning. Remember, your cognitive brain is the part of your brain that makes meaning out of everything. Emotions are just energy that move you in very specific ways. Every emotion has corresponding thoughts and behaviors. There's no such thing as a good or bad emotion. They're just emotions. You're not your emotions any more than you're your heartbeat. And emotions that stick around, for a while are called moods. And the takeaway here is you can regulate your emotions. You don't have to let them regulate you. So let's do a brief review of what we've been talking about the last couple of weeks, creating your way of being. We start with number one, create a way of being that inspires and moves you, excites you to your very core. Then choose emotions, thoughts, and behaviors that match who you're creating yourself to be. Practice and adjust your created way of being throughout the day, and keep practicing and adjusting until your created way of being becomes automatic. Choose the emotion you want to live in most of the time and integrate it into your created way of being statement. For example, I am the possibility of being a loving blank. And then practice responding to situations throughout the day with thoughts and behaviors that match the emotional state you're creating. So we're going to look at some core emotions and transitional emotions and then a few others. So let's start with fear. Fear is the emotion that actually helps you survive, keeps you out of danger. It moves you to fight, flee, or freeze. Developmentally, consider that when you were born, you moved from a very safe, warm environment where you could eat, drink, pee, poop right on the walls. Everything was there. It was safe and calm and peaceful. And then one day, you were pushed out into a bright, lighted room, cold, and somebody held you upside down, slapped you on the butt, and you were introduced to the emotion fear. Then bright lights and loud noises scared you all the time, shadows, etc. But if your parents were loving and caring, took care of you, you eventually grew out of having fear as your predominant state of being. You moved into greed. Greed takes, acquires, and possesses. And if you know anything about terrible twos, just imagine 2-year-olds sitting around in a circle playing with toys, and they take each other's toys and say, mine, mine, mine. Everything's mine. They just take it and say, it's mine. Well, eventually, your mom or your dad or your caregiver says, that is not okay. You need to share your toys. It's wrong not to share. You can't take someone else's toy. But you know what? You're not wired that way. You've been living for a couple years now, taking whatever you wanted. So you continue to take. You just do it when no one's looking. This is called shame. Shame moves you to hide, justify, rationalize, and minimize. Now, eventually you get called out. You realize that even though you're hiding and you're getting what you want, it's not working for you, and you move into the emotion guilt. Guilt blames, judges, criticizes, and condemns. Now, in case you're wondering, shame and guilt are the two predominant emotions most people on the planet live in. So we don't have to talk too much about this. You're pretty familiar with blaming, judging, criticizing, condemning yourself, others, in the world, and hiding to do or get what you want, as long as the people that are important don't notice. But you don't have to stay in guilt or shame. You can move to the next natural emotional state, which is self-esteem. Self-esteem is really just love for yourself, and there's 4 behaviors to love: accept, create, improve on your creation, and then give it to yourself. And if you're recognizing people as human beings just like you, eventually you may decide to accept yourself, others, and the world just the way they are, without judgment. And then you still create, improve, and you give to yourself, others, and the world. Anger is the emotion that moves you to clench your jaw and fists, gnaw your lips, hit, kick, throw, stomp, yell, curse, and withdraw. Anger is a transitional emotion that helps you move out of a hole. Sometimes it's just enough energy when you get angry to get out of a tough space. Anxiety is the emotion that moves you to solve a problem. You furrow your brow, pace, wring your hands, shake your legs or feet. Anxiety is there for you to say, okay, problem needs to be solved and I need to solve it, and it has to be done quickly. Sadness is a transitional emotion that moves you to droop your eyes, face, shoulders, move slow, cry, and isolate. Now here's the thing. With anger, sadness, and anxiety, these can be predominant emotions. If the anger, sadness, and anxiety are predominant, in other words, you're living in them most of the time, then that's not healthy. It doesn't work. It just doesn't work to be angry at everything or anxious at everything. There's not everything you're trying to solve a problem for, or sad even when it's sunny. So there might be an issue of a chemical imbalance that you might want to take a look at if that's the case. And if it's not a chemical imbalance, it might be that you're just practiced living in those emotional states. And so that's why we're talking about how to move out of them. Calm is the emotion that moves you to relax your muscles, breathe slow and deep, and accept. Calm comes from the emotion love. Happy moves you to smile, laugh, play, and joke. And joy moves you to smile, laugh, sing, and dance. Smile, smile, smile. Guess what? The feel-good neurotransmitters, dopamine, endorphins, serotonin, they're all released in your brain when you smile. Smiling relaxes your body and can also lower your heart rate and blood pressure. Even fake smiling and laughing can create the same effect in your brain. Your brain doesn't know different. So smile as often as possible throughout the day and notice the results. Love, peace, happiness, and joy, these are all considered positive emotions. Positive emotions broaden your scope of awareness and provide you with more options of thought and behavior. More options increase the probability that you'll choose more effective thoughts and behaviors, which result in more positive outcomes. And guess what? Positive outcomes tend to increase your positive emotions. That serves to broaden and build upon themselves in an upward spiral. So the more you do it, the more you get it. Conversely, on the other hand, the more you think negatively and feel negative thoughts, the more negative thoughts occur in a downward spiral. So be mindful to your emotions. Observe them, describe the name of the emotion, thoughts and behaviors of the emotion. Stay with your emotion without judgment. And then choose the emotion that works for you. Remember, there's no good or bad emotion. What emotional state do you want to live in? And when you choose, then act out the behavior of the emotion and think and speak the thoughts of the emotion until it becomes present. So now I want to talk about emotions that get stuck in your brain. Adverse or traumatic experiences can cause disturbing emotions to be locked in your memory and constantly triggered, causing you to feel them over and over again. Think of your most disturbing memory, one that triggers fear, depression, anxiety, shame, or guilt. On a scale of 0 to 10, with 10 being most disturbing, how disturbing is the memory for you? And then when you think of this memory, do you have a negative thought about yourself? For instance, I'm a blank person, I'm a bad person. On a scale of 1 to 7, with 7 being most true, how true is your negative thought about yourself when you think of this memory? So if you have one or more disturbing memories or negative beliefs about yourself that score 2 or more, you have what's called unprocessed negative memories. Unprocessed negative memories can be triggered at any time, causing you to feel the same negative emotion or think the same negative thought about yourself. These memories can generate behaviors that interfere with your life even without your awareness, and they can stay locked in your brain the rest of your life. Your brain will often generate behavioral urges to avoid or distract yourself from the memories, such as overeating, getting drunk, or getting high, over shopping, excessive sex, overworking, you name it, over anything. Here's the good news. You can significantly reduce or eliminate disturbing emotions attached to traumatic memories, and you can replace all the unwanted behavior with desirable ones in a very short period of time. Pathwise Production specializes in helping you significantly reduce or eliminate disturbing emotions from your memories in 3 or less sessions. It used to take 3 years. Then it took a year, then 3 months. Now it only takes 3 sessions due to the strategies and skills and the technology and knowledge we have about how your brain works. We can help you replace interfering behavior and teach you how to think, feel, and behave the way you want to in 6 sessions or less. It's amazing, it really is. So if you're having a traumatic experience, or if you have traumatic memories, or maybe you grew up with adverse life experiences, like you're criticized every day, put down, judged, blamed, whatever, that builds up after a while, then please check out my website, make an appointment. It's not going to kill you. You can call, you can write, and ask more questions. You can get it taken care of now. And if not through me, get help with somebody. There's no need to go on with living with your disturbing emotions. So check out my website, products and services, and appointment calendar. My video series will take you step by step through this process and provide evidence-based skills and exercises to help you create a life you love. You know, the thing is, the video series doesn't do the processing, that it does the reprogramming. So the processing we really recommend that you do with a licensed professional. But the video series is half off, so check it out. So next week on Pathwise Live, we're going to be talking about how to reinforce your behaviors. I want to thank you for watching and have a great day.